Do you have a WordPress website that's just losing you money through just paying for web hosting services? Now, that was my situation many years ago because the solutions of creating a membership website were quite complicated. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to turn your basic WordPress website into a membership website using SureMembers. All right, so let's dive in and let me show you how to set it all up and how to get it working. All right, so what I'm going to do here, in fact, you know what? I forgot to mention this. I'm going to leave all the links to the products that I'll be using in the video description below. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is to create our WordPress website. So instead of creating it on a hosting account, I'm going to use this service called ZipWP. I already have an account, so I'm going to click on login. And here is my dashboard. So to create my website, I'm just going to come over here and click on create new. And then I'm going to go for blank website. Next, I'm going to give this a name. And then I'm going to click on create sites. Now, notice how fast this has been created. Now I can just click here to log into my WordPress website. And just like that, my website is ready. All right, so SureMembers can be used with any page builder out there. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to use Spectra. This is a page builder experience for WordPress. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to come over here, click on add new. I'm going to search for Spectra and then click on install now. Next, I'm going to click on activate. Now there's one more thing I need to install here. I also need to install the Astra theme. So I'm going to come over here to my appearance and then click on themes. Click on add new. And here it is right here. So Astra is one of the most popular themes in the WordPress area. All right, so let's click on install and then we're going to activate. All right, great. So I have Spectra and I also have Astra theme installed. The next step now is to install SureMembers. Now I'll leave a link to SureMembers in the video description below. All right, so what we want to do is to download this zip file. So I'm going to click on download. So while this is downloading, we also need to copy our license key. So I'm going to come over here to license keys and then we're just going to click on copy. All right, so now that we're done with this, I'm going to close it. And then back here on our website, I'm going to go to my plugins and then click on add new. Now, previously we installed this by searching, but this time, since it's downloaded, we need to upload the plugin. So I'm going to click here on upload plugin. I'm going to choose the file and my file here is on the desktop. I'm going to click on it and then click on open. Next, click on install. And then finally, we need to activate. The next step now is to go to SureMembers here. And what we want to do now is to add our license key. So we're going to come over here to the top, click on unlicensed, and we need now to paste our license key like that, and then click on activate license. Excellent. Now, before we get started, I'd like to go through all these settings here because they are very, very important. So let's start off with the admin settings. So I'm going to click here on admin settings. So you can see here, we can display SureMembers icon on a block editor. So you can activate that if you need to. Over here, we can also decline admin access. So we can choose who should not get admin access. So I can say author. I can click here again and say subscriber. And I can also say contributor. Okay, so these guys here will not get admin access. All right, now over here, we can also assign access groups to new registrants. So you can add here your group if you wanted to, but for now, I'm going to leave it as it is and then click on save. Next, we're going to come over here to user roles. So let's say you want to create specific roles for your users. For example, maybe you may want to add students. I'll just add it like that and I've created now my role. So I can assign this at a later stage to allow access to this user role. So you can add as many as you want, and at any stage you can come over here and edit it, or you can also delete it. Let's move on now to redirection rules. Now, this is also very, very important because you want to make sure that when someone logs onto the site, they are redirected to a specific page. When they log out, they can also be redirected to a specific page. So we are going to be creating the login redirect page. Usually I name it dashboard. So we're going to come back to this. Next, we're going to come over here to our login customizer. So this is where you can set your login URL. Now, by default here, it's /login. And if they are not members, they are redirected to a 404 page. But again, you can create a specific page here where you can direct them to, say, the sales page or the login page. All right, so over here we have our brand colors. So this is where you want to come in with your color palettes. So you want to come in here, choose your colors for your color palettes, and then here you would get your links color. So for example, let's say I go with that for the links. For the text color, I may want to go with this gray. Okay, and then over here we also have our logos. So you can create a logo on your login form. So let's say you want to add a custom logo. I can just click here on add logo. So I think I have a logo on my desktop. So I'm going to click on upload media. So this would be a logo for your actual website. So let's head over here to my desktop because I think, yeah, SureMembers, here's the logo. And I'm going to click in here and then click on choose. Excellent. So there's a few more options here. You can also set your logo width. So let's say you want to set this to maybe 200 pixels. You can just do that over here. And if you want to add it as a transparent form, you can adjust it there. You can also add your background. But for now, I'm just going to click on save settings. So now let's take a look and see what this looks like so far. So I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to open an incognito window. I'm going to paste it. Now remember, it was /login. And there we go. So you can see here, I have my SureMembers logo. And this is where we can add our username and password. But you can further customize this. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to keep things very, very simple. All right, so we also have our login restrictions. So let's say you have a member of your website and perhaps maybe they want to share the login. So what you can do here is you can go in and say for all students, and here it is. Remember, I created my user role as students. So I'm going to say for all students, they can have a maximum of 3 concurrent logins. So this could be 3 active logins on different devices, because this saves you from people sharing their username and passwords to access your membership website. So this is a very, very good feature, and I'm really excited that this is here in SureMembers. Next, I'm going to click on Save Settings. So pretty much over here on the settings, that's all you need to know. Now, let me also show you somewhere else which is very important. So if I click here on SureMembers, it's going to take me back over here. So this is where we're able now to add our access groups. But before we do that, now, if you want to go into the settings, this is where you would click. You click on this little icon here, and we are back on our settings because it's not really over here on the left. Okay, so just remember that. All right, so now that we have this, remember I mentioned that there's a few pages that we need to create. The first one is the wrong level page. So this is a page where people are redirected to when they try to access the course and they're not members. All right, so let's create that page first. I'm going to come over here, click on Add New Page. So I'm just going to close out of here and give this page a title. I'm just going to call this Wrong Level. Next, I'm going to now add a container by clicking over here. So I'm just going to add a single container, and in here, I'm going to add a block. So I'm just going to say browse all so I can see all of them. So the one I want here is an info box, because I just want to add a few information here for my message. All right, great. So all I have to do now is to replace this icon. So I'm going to click in here. So the icon I'm going to need is, let's scroll down here. Okay, that one here will do. Click on insert icon. So while I'm here as well, I need to also change the text here. So I'm just going to say, sorry, wrong level. And then over here, I'm just going to say content you're trying to access is for members only. Click here to become a member, something along those lines. So now that we have our text ready, all I have to do now is to come over here to the styling. So next, I'm going to change the color of my icon. So let's change it to that. We're also going to increase our size here, make it slightly bigger. And then over here where it says click here, this is where you want to link to your sales page. So you highlight the text and then you click on this chain icon. All right, so I've added my link, and this is the link that connects you to the sales page. All right, so let's do a few things here. We're going to make sure that this page title here does not show. So I'm going to click on this eye icon. I really want this to be pretty much clean. So I'm also going to exclude the header and the footer of the page. But before I do that, I just want to align this. So here you can see we can adjust our viewport height. So I am going to increase this a little bit to maybe about, perhaps maybe about 600. And pretty much now it's in the middle of the page, which is very good. Next, I'm going to come over here now to Astra. So you can see this is why I really wanted to use Astra, because I can come in and disable quite a few options here when need be. So I'm going to click on disable elements, and then I'm going to disable the header and also the footer. Okay. Next, I'm going to click on publish and then hit publish one more time. So let's view this page in a new tab. There we go. So now it's opening in a new tab. I'm now going to copy this URL. So this is a simple message here. You can make this all fancy. You can add a video if you wanted to. You can add more graphics. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I just want to keep things very simple. All right, so back over here. Once we are done here, I'm going to click on this W. And this is now going to take us back to our WordPress dashboard. So you can see here we have our wrong level page. So what we need to do now is to create our membership levels. So let's head over to SureMembers. Next, we're going to come over here now to access groups. Now, access groups is pretty much like your membership levels. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a name. So you can name this whatever you want. So I'm going to call this lifetime members, like that. And over here, you see, if we hadn't created that page, we would not be able to come over here and save access group. You see here, it gives us an error. So this is where we're going to go in here, click on redirect. So we can either add a message as well if you don't want to create a page. So you can have a message that is in here. We can also have a button here if you want to. So let's say you add, this is for members only. Okay, let's say this is the message. Over here, you can add a button text, and then you can say become a member. And then over here, you can type in the URL. Okay, but we are not doing it that way, although this is an option as well. So like I said, I have this as an option for the page that we've just created, because I feel that we can customize that page and make it really fancy, whereas the other option is just the basics. Okay, so our page here is called a wrong level, and here it is. Excellent. So now that we have this, we are now going to come over here and decide what we are going to protect. So if it's the entire website, we can pretty much protect the entire website. Or if it's specific pages, I can come over here and choose a specific page to protect. So for now, let's leave it blank, but we have created now lifetime members. Now let's save the group. So remember, you can also create multiple membership levels, and there's also other options that you can play around with here. So let's say we have a page which we need to protect. So I'm going to come over here on pages, click on add new. So let's say this is information on the secrets of some amazing solution. So let's call this page the secret. Next, we are going to now add some content here. So let's add our container. So let's say we are going to add a video in here. So let's search for our video, and we're going to go with YouTube. So let's say this is the video that has all the secrets. So I'm going to say get shareable link. Then back over here now, I'm going to paste my video in here, click on embed, and then I'm going to click on publish. Now let's head over back to our site, and let's go to SureMembers. So for our lifetime members, we can click on edit. Now remember, here we hadn't protected anything yet, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose specific pages. And then this is where I'm going to search for the secret. There we go. Now there's also an option here to drip the content. So let's say you have several things on this particular page. Maybe you have more and more videos that you want to showcase. And by the way, it's not just one item that you can protect here. You can also go in here and say, I know I have a sample page. So let's say you also want to protect the sample page because it's for members. You can just keep adding all the pages here. And pretty much that's access to your lifetime membership. So over here, we can drip the content. If I click here on drip, you can search for the content here, and then you can add your after duration, specific dates, and so on. And then you can start adding it over here. But for this example, we are not going to add drip content, but the option is there. Okay. Next, we also have downloads. So let's say you have specific downloads. This could be maybe a PDF document that you want the lifetime members to access as they go through the training. This is where you would add it. So if I click here on upload media, I can now go through I think my file here is on my desktop somewhere, or you know what, let's just add an image. Okay. So let's say this image is the image that's supposed to be accessed by the members, and you can see here we have this image. So let's say this image here is part of what we need to protect. I'm going to click on choose, and now this image here has been added. So we can add zipped files, we can also add PDFs and so on. All right, so let's save the access group. So at this stage, you're probably wondering, how do we get people to pay to access the memberships? Well, this is where we need to use a plugin called Shortcut. So to install it, you want to come over here to plugins and then click on add new plugin. So you search for Shortcut. So here it is. I've already gone ahead and installed it and activated it. And to see it, it's over here on installed plugins. So here it is, Shortcut. So what you want to do now is to go to Shortcut, and we want to create a new store. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to leave the branding colors as they are, and this is where you choose your currency. So again, I'm going to leave mine as a US dollar and then click on continue. So I'm going to do this from scratch, but if you want, you can start with some demo products. Next, I'm going to click on continue. So here's my email address. I'm going to go and set it up. Great. So now I can add my product. Now, do you see how easy this is? Fantastic. It's amazing. All right, add new product. And over here, we want to give this our product name. So remember, we have our membership levels. So I think I have lifetime or Mac members, I think. Lifetime members, click on create. All right, so the next step is to give this a description. So I'm going to paste my description in here. So on our images, we can add our image from URL. So I have an image here from URL. I'm going to paste it like that, add an image. Next, I'm going to set my pricing. So I want to say one time, but the cool thing is you can also add an installment or subscription. So I'm going to leave it at one time. And then here the name is lifetime membership, like that. And let's add our price, $9.97. And here we can say $1,499 or 97. Okay, great. So I'm going to click on create price. So this is only when you want to add a discounted price. Okay, now let's move on to the next part, and this is our integrations. All right, so now let's add our new integration. So if I click on this drop down, we have quite a few integrations here, but the one I'm looking for is SureMembers. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now we need to add our access group, which is the membership level. Now this one here is for lifetime members. I'm going to go ahead and select it, add integration. All right, so if we have any downloads, we can add our downloads in here. If we have a licensing option, we can activate it here, set our limits. So maybe we can say the person can download it 3 times, and then you can also add your release here if this is a zip file of the software. But we're not going to spend time with that because this is not what we need to do. And for our search engine listing, you can add your page title and meta description. But again, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Now, let's take a look at what's happening over here. So we have our instant checkout. In fact, let's save our product for now quickly. So we have our instant checkout. So if I click here on this drop down, it shows you can activate what you want to show here. You can show your coupon field, you can show your product image and so on. So you can just pretty much choose what you want. So let's set this to published. And then what I can do is I can copy this link. Now let's paste this in a new tab and see what it looks like. For some reason, my image here is not showing. Maybe it's because Pexels does not share the URL. But anyway, this is our product. This is our description here and the price. And then over here on the right, we can add our coupon code if we have one. And then we can click on purchase after you've entered your name. So once you've clicked here, it takes you to the payment page but you do need to set up your store beforehand for this to actually work correctly. But Shortcut is absolutely free, so you can integrate this. You can integrate this with SureMembers and make this a paid membership. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to set up, and I highly recommend that you turn your basic website into a membership website. You can pretty much secure any type of information. Single pages, you can do this with even LMSs like LearnDash or Tutor LMS. You can even protect blog posts. So pretty much you can protect anything that you want on your basic website. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.